From the new recording lair located deep beneath the Wine and Spirit store in Ephrata, Pennsylvania.
You're listening to the Masonic Light Podcast.
Studio 665 presents Masonic Light Podcast. This show is recorded by Masons, for Masons. It is for entertainment purposes only. And please, no wagering.
This podcast is not endorsed by any Grand Lodge, and the ridiculous ramblings of the hosts are their own. And now, here's your host.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. Masonic Light Podcast.
Yeah, easy for you to say.
Episode 130.
You're in for it now.
Yeah, well, you don't know what you've been missing.
So you guys are in for a treat. We've missed 2 weeks of recording because of things.
Yes, everything from me having COVID to everything else.
But we're back.
We're back.
And we have no plan.
No, we do. Tonight's episode, we are going to be celebrating Festivus tonight, the holiday for the rest of us.
I hate when they do that.
Yeah.
But before that, we're going to walk around, well, virtually, and see what everybody's been up to. Tim, what have you been up to? Okay, Jack, what have you been up to Masonically?
Last night we had installation of officers here at Ephrata Lodge, and it was great. I'm very proud of the line. The outgoing master, John Mertz, had a great year. He did a really nice job recovering from the whole 2020 thing, and he passed it on. You know, it's the passing of the gavel, right? And it was a great ceremony. The lodge was packed. I think we were full to capacity in the lodge room. We didn't break out the folding chairs, but it was as many as we've had in there for a long since we had the Washington Bible. I think that was the last big one. But anyway, I'm just proud of my guys. I mean, I'm proud of my lodge. They do great work ritually, and they understand that there's something here beyond the
Reading in the minutes?
Beyond the reading in the minutes, exactly. Yeah.
Special guest, Jacob. Have you done anything Masonically in the past month or so?
Joined Scottish Rite. I'm a 31st degree Scottish Rite.
In the Valley of Reading.
The Northern Jurisdiction.
Congratulations.
There you go.
Yes.
Larry is going to deputize you to work on
Stage crew.
Yeah.
I'm so busy.
He has a chair.
Eye contact, brother. Eye contact.
So you guys might not, if you're local, you'll know Jake. If you're not local, he's almost been on the show 2 or 3 times, and we've had to erase all of the audio.
So we're going to try it again.
So yeah, Jake was on an infamous road trip with Tim and I up to Williamsport, Pennsylvania, and even before we got into trouble. We were just commenting on the things on the side of the road as we're headed north. What's the little town that is nothing but like strip clubs, like the nudie peep shows on 81?
Up 1115.
Yeah,
1115.
It's 1115 up there. It's just a dead river town full of porn stores.
Liverpool.
Not pretty much. I mean, it's not Selinsgrove. Selinsgrove?
No.
That's terrible too.
It's the one before you get to that.
But yeah, like we're trying to have an intelligent conversation, and when we see the third, loaded with truck drivers at 9 a.m. Like, what's going on over there?
Well, what's best is you find like
they have free coffee. I'm just saying.
Wow, that's it.
You find the giant, Jesus is watching billboard looking right down on like the 1115 adult bookstore with a trucker coming out, and it's just like something out of a meme. It's
like a David Lynch movie.
Really, really is. Humans' degradation and suffering.
Larry,
Yo,
have you left the house lately?
yes, I have.
All right, what have you done Masonically?
Stated meeting with you and Josh last Tuesday.
Okay.
Goose and Gridiron. I didn't do that, though. I didn't go.
What?
Different meetings. I'm not going to bring it up.
Okay, good.
Different meetings.
What have I been up to? Not much. I did go to the changing, the installation of officers for Beersheba and Ubar Grottos, and Grand Monarch was there to come visit.
Did you get one of his pins?
I did. I got my 4th.
Got to duck fast.
Yes.
About 5 officers were there from the Grand Line, which was very nice.
Yes.
And, I guess what it does show is that, for whatever reason, Jay likes Grotto.
Yeah, he does.
Like on a national level. And he travels a lot.
Yeah.
And it was kind of nice that these 5 national officers made time out of their schedule to come out, because some of these regional things we go to, there might only be 25 people, and half of them are spouses. And, Jay's always one of them. So, I guess it's just kind of like a thank you to this guy, Jay, that comes out and, supports Grotto on a big level.
And that's our own Jay Laser.
We should have an annual award for it. We'll call it the That Guy Award. He's that guy in the lodge that just does that.
Everywhere.
We have one in Ephrata, Dave Newell. He's everywhere all the time. I mean, it's just, but Jay has really found a sweet spot in Grotto, and he loves it.
And Bacon Poppy, he was there too, and he did bring some of those Chester County Grotto guys actually did make it across 2 county lines.
Most of them made it home too.
Or 1 county line. I guess it was only in Centerville, wasn't it?
That's
John,
right.
Josh, sort of not really current master, but not really past master yet.
Yeah, I had my last regular stated meeting, I guess, for Lamberton Lodge, potentially. And, it was the last stated meeting.
How does it make you feel to be the master that killed Lamberton Lodge?
I knew it was going to happen.
Was that at the top of your list when you went in?
Yep.
Okay.
Stick a fork in it.
There you go.
I killed the Pennsylvania the Colonial Grotto Association.
Yes, you did.
It's a good. It's euthanasia when there's a.
When it needs to be done, it needs to be done.
And like a phoenix, this new lodge is going to grow back stronger.
Yes.
Yeah.
And menacing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Timmy, are you ready?
I'm ready.
He doesn't have his PC in front of him, so he is completely at a loss. I don't remember whether I took a dump this morning.
Fog. I'm claiming COVID fog. Seriously, since we last aired an episode, we obviously had the Scottish Rite reunions, which were well attended. We did a good job. We actually, I'm heading up the video crew at the Valley of Harrisburg, the Grand Valley of Harrisburg. Right? Actually, we're called the Big Valley. We were told we shouldn't call ourselves the Grand Valley.
Blah, blah,
something else. Anyway, we did that. Had a great turnout. The plays were great. Been doing a lot of secretarial stuff. Guys, if you haven't paid your Blue Lodge dues, pay them now.
Online.
Thank you, Brother Secretary.
Pay them online.
Speaking of plays, how many people throughout the United States are now calling our degree work plays?
Hey, you started a trend, Larry.
3.
All except the degrees that are musicals.
Exactly.
Oh, I did one thing I forgot to mention. It's not really Masonic.
Cecil B. DeMille did that.
We did have our Santa Stumble last week.
Oh, yeah.
And I got interviewed by Fox 43 TV station.
Okay.
And prior to the interview, they did not send one of their intelligent young reporters. See, I'm being behaving.
There you go. Nice.
They just sent a producer, and I was chatting with the producer, the cameraman, about Masons and things. And I'm just watching him. I'm like, oh my God, if you would see how we do the audio visual at one of the Scottish Rite reunions, you would lose your mind. Like, it's scary.
Mm-hmm.
Hot mics and all.
Yes. Yes, hot mics and all. We did have a hot mic moment that we're not going to go further with. But anyway, one thing I did want to mention, we too, as most lodges, did a changing of the guard at Eureka West Shore Lodge number 302. And I want to do a shout out to Ken Robinson, who served 2 consecutive years as master. And we're not calling that a repeat. We're calling that a continuation.
Don't call it a comeback.
Yeah, it's not a comeback. But Ken did a marvelous job during COVID of leading our lodge. It was a strong lodge before, but it continues to be a strong lodge, and we're doing a lot of neat things. In fact, as soon as we're done with this episode, we're going to jump on one of our monthly toast calls that has become a regular occurrence now within the lodge. So it's where guys get together outside of the lodge online and just do a check-in and have some fun. So
I wanted to mention one other thing that I did, and Jack did too.
Sorry.
We went to Lodge 43 for the installation of Masonic Light podcast contributor Jim Stevens.
Yes, we did.
Jim's a good dude.
Yeah,
I look forward to think what's his year.
I think he's going to have a really good hand on it. He's a very intelligent guy. He's exactly what they need exactly right now. So.
It's always great this time of year to have hope in what's coming the next year. And
so we'll get to this when we get to the Festivus part.
That's right, the Festivus part of this.
Then I'll have
Then we'll
to say.
crush your hopes and dreams.
Ready the poll.
The poll is in place.
Prepare the poll.
All right, we'll take a quick break and we'll come back.
Why choose George J. Grove & Sons for your next home improvement project? At George J. Grove & Sons, we've built our reputation on quality and trust for more than 50 years. From planning to materials to installation, George J. Grove promises a home improvement experience second to none. Whether your goal is reducing energy costs, decreasing maintenance, updating curb appeal, or simply increasing the value of your home, the George J. Grove team will recommend and provide solutions that stand the test of time. Call 717-393-0859 for an estimate or visit us at georgejgrove.com.
And we're back. As Pete said at the beginning of the show, tonight is our Festivus episode. And prior to our gathering here tonight, we had our Festivus dinner. It was well attended by all members of
With
the
the
crew.
traditional potted meat.
Yes.
And asparagus.
And asparagus. We voted and chose not to have green beans. But anyway.
It was unanimous.
So we are now moving on to the next portion of Festivus, which is the airing of grievances. I have a lot of problems with you people, and you're going to hear about it.
So the airing of Masonic grievances.
What could go wrong?
Woo, yeah.
All right,
Everybody put your dues cards table.
Who would like to start?
I'll start.
Special guest Jake.
Set the bar high.
Get your finger on the dump button.
Yeah.
Kevlar.
Can we all stop pretending that prime rib is good?
Oh,
It's wet gristle, and it's not appetizing. Get a decent cut of steak. I'll pay more money. Get a decent cut of steak.
Oh my gosh.
you know, I totally agree. I totally agree.
Is this in response to a Lamberton Lodge event that you attended? Because I believe
It's in response to Lamberton events, to Ubar events.
Ubar, yeah.
Yeah, we even said earlier, Ron Carson does an amazing job because he cares.
Oh my God, right.
But like a restaurant does not care. They just put the minimum effort into let's give these fat bastards a big fat hunk of meat.
So you could almost superimpose the video of the people slicing the big piece of whale meat off the whale carcass, and then you just really? Oh yeah, okay.
Oh, goodness.
Alrighty, who's next?
Who's next?
That didn't last very long.
Yeah.
I'll go next.
All right, Pete.
This is the Ted Lasso of.
I am gonna beep my first word out. Blanking York Right.
Okay, say more.
Especially in Pennsylvania, because we feel like our York, we can't be part of the rest of the York Right because we do it right. How come we can't have any kind of organization where you know when you're going to get your degrees? If you're going to join chapter, maybe it could be sequential so that your chapter degrees fall just prior to your council degrees and just prior to your commandery degrees. I
think that would require coordination and cooperation.
Yes, and it's irritating. And I just wonder why there can't be someone paying attention. There's men that are waiting for years to get their orders and to get there, and they're willing to travel if they knew where to go. So, just
let's talk about why do we think that is?
In today's world, really, I mean, you can look up where to go. I mean, you can see Facebook or whatever, who's having ceremony
somewhere in some galaxy far, far away, Scottish Rite figured out how to have 4 different bodies meet on the same night, knock the business out of the lodges out in 20 minutes,
right,
and then have a program or have whatever you're going to do. We can't get these 3 York Rite bodies that pretty much 95% of people are a member of all 3 of them.
Don't you think that's kind of it's a symptom with a lot of our appendant bodies where they get isolated and they get inward thinking rather than outward thinking, and what other bodies are doing is irrelevant to us. This piece here is ours, and this is us. And I think it gets to something that Larry's going to bring up here.
It's like that designated hitter rule. Let them do that.
It comes to certain Masons define themselves in certain roles.
Right.
And some people define themselves in shrine, and some in Scottish Rite, New York Rite, and so on.
Some in building committees.
Some in building committees. Right? Shh. No, we're not. Anyway, so. It's natural to see that. You just, I don't know.
So if you meet a man and he's climbed the ladder in all the York Rite bodies, he has really paid his dues, because he's gotten his degrees in 4 different continents over the course of 30 years.
Okay, is that wrong?
No, I mean, maybe that's the thing. Maybe there's some secret, like you really have to follow this path less traveled.
Maybe some of the work is in learning. Finding that out. I can totally see that as being part of the journey, right?
All righty.
All right, so I have one.
Good, Timmy.
So, and it's somewhat related, I think. My problem is, why can't I go to some website and log in and click boxes that says I'm a member of this lodge, I'm a member of the Scottish Rite, I'm a member of Shrine, I'm a member of all of these other groups. Click, click, click. Each time I click, it adds an amount to my total, and at the end, I just give them $1,000.
$1,000? You get a discount for
exactly.
that?
So, or whatever the total is. In other words,
get one free.
Buy one get one free. It would be great if we could ever get to a point where that, at least in some of the larger bodies, especially those that could afford the technology, to get to a point where literally you could go in, pay your Blue Lodge dues, pay your Scottish Rite and Shrine dues.
And once a month they do an electric deposit.
And they do a deposit to all those groups once a month on whatever they've collected for the month. And aside for that is, and one of the reasons we can't do that is
somewhere there's a guy in a Bentley getting 2 cents per transaction.
I think you could do that with a Square account.
You could do it with any number
you can do
of
it
accounts.
You can do
Jake, let's form an LLC and process payments for all
right, but the 2 of you write the code and have the app.
What code? We're not using. No,
it's an app.
1999 is Squarespace.com.
You pay all of your dues for
little
all
CMS, a little HT. We're going to put up just a React page.
So I actually answer my own question, because I'm going to share an experience that I had today generally, and a few people will know more specifics. But today I attempted to go online to pay dues for one of the appendant bodies, and could not find anywhere.
Central Pennsylvania Shrine.
I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to go any further.
Do they have a Fed?
Than to say I attempted to go online and pay dues. Could not find anywhere to pay dues online, so I called the offices of aforementioned body, and the person said, well, I can take your credit card over the phone, which was good. That was nice. And the person answering the phone was very friendly, and I said, okay, I'm just curious. Is anybody there looking at having online dues? Well, I think they've talked about that before, but person X who handles this is against it, so I don't think it's ever going to happen. And it really got under my skin that we give that much power to an individual within a body that clearly, as Freemasons, we are trying to appeal to those of a different generation than all of us are.
So you prefer more of a totalitarian where the Grand Secretary tells you how you have to do it?
No.
I would threaten to dock his pay and see what effect that has.
Yeah, right. But anyway, nonetheless, we've got to bring the fraternity. We're doing a good job in some places, not so much in some other places.
Right. We're not trying to go to 2019 and Venmo.
I just want to come to 1984.
But you got to understand, these guys have a system. They've been doing it for 30 years. Yeah. They know how much time they're going to spend in the mailbox and processing the nonsense.
But the amazing thing is, if they did this, he doesn't spend any time in it because it happens automatically then.
Right, but he doesn't know the unknown.
Right.
Right? So he's unwilling to step into that unknown zone because it could be more work. I might not get it.
I'm going to give Jack the benefit of the doubt if the individual in question has never paid a single bill online.
Right. And there are secretaries and treasurers who have never paid a single bill online.
As I like to remind these 50, 60-year members, under your watch, our fraternity has dropped by 50%. Keep up the good work.
Stop it.
Thank goodness this is our Festivus
correlation
episode.
Is not, whatever.
Causation.
To be fair, I'm one of those older guys, but I do believe in everything you're saying. I pay dues online. I want to see everybody pay their dues to everybody online. Sorry.
Larry, you have so many electric devices in your body. You're wired in the matrix.
That's right. He is the matrix. He is the matrix.
Larry's whole body was affected by the Log4j vulnerability.
So, Larry, what is your grievance?
Oh, my grievance. Let me clear my throat.
Oh, there's some.
So you can hear me.
That's my grievance.
Planning events. A couple years ago, we tried to plan a dinner.
Oh, my God.
Getting the committee to come up with a date was one obstacle. We came up with a date. We started to put the word out there about what we were planning on doing. All of a sudden, we got a call saying, "Oh, that's a big Scottish Rite dinner for the Harrisburg Scottish Rite Club. Can't do that." We have a big Masonic weekend at John Wright in Columbia. We have next thing you know, there are 15 freaking bodies having the same dang night that we were planning on it. You couldn't do it. And I'm coming to find out that every time we go to plan on something, somebody, 3 or 4 other bodies have the same thing going on. I mean, it's impossible. That's my gripe.
You know what the answer to that is?
Yeah, a master calendar somewhere.
Okay.
Now, we have an IT professional here.
We need an app.
Where are we in technology? Is there a possibility to have something online that we can all see what somebody else is
in our
doing?
lifetime?
I believe that in our lifetime, the secretary will be able to fax everybody a calendar
Yes.
Well said, young man.
Excellent.
And Larry, to make it even worse, yes, there's 4, not just 4 activities going on that night. There's 4 bad, poorly attended events going on that
and they're
night.
all serving prime rib.
Instead of them at least trying to have one good event together.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good point.
With tilapia.
Now, the reason all of those bodies exist is because somebody was like a past whatever and wanted something to do, so he started his own thing. And here's this other degree or other body or other rite. So it all derives out of that. So
we were so...
Can you trace it backwards?
Yeah, I mean, at some point we were so arrogant because we had so many Freemasons that we all had buildings. Yeah. And we're like, oh, you know what? These guys are starting to annoy me a little bit. Let's go with just our group of friends and start this other thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And now it's time to walk some of these things behind a barn.
Yeah. Well, and let's finish our grievances.
Leads us into...
We've got some other grievances, actually. Josh.
I have no grievances.
I don't believe that. You've got to have some grievances. Or
you just spent a year as master.
Right.
You absolutely have grievances.
2.5.
2.5 years. That concluded with a merger.
I should know that because you're my master.
You've got to have
a Band-Aid for that dig?
Get up the mic.
I haven't really thought of any. I'm sorry, I wasn't prepared.
Oh.
Neither were we, but that's
Josh is the only one that's going to have a dues card at the end of this episode. Okay. What other? All right. So now, any other grievances that are out there?
Jack, Jack, you had a good one.
What?
Not dying.
Well, that was for you.
Don't do it, Larry.
we made it through another year without Larry croaking. That was good.
This one's not really a grievance.
Wait a minute. That's a miracle.
That's a Festivus. It's a Festivus miracle.
Let's
It is a Festivus
That's
miracle.
our next part of our episode.
Huzzah!
Let's just
Larry
wait
did not die
till
after
this.
recording.
He's still alive when it airs.
Right.
Well, that's true.
Yeah,
How poignant,
don't
if
jinx
not.
me
The,
driving home tonight.
Don't jinx
So
me.
no, this is a crazy idea I had in the shower today.
Hello.
We have these buildings sitting empty all day long.
Oh, Lord.
Now, there was a trendy thing right before COVID in Lancaster where all these millennials were starting to do this thing called co-working. And they were renting space on a big table to sit and not work next to the person not working next to them.
But only if there was a ping pong table.
What if we had some of this lodge space as co-working space, especially for Masons, or give Masons a discount?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, occasionally, Grandpa, somebody might leave a ring on the table.
I'm sorry, brother, but that would be a complete change of use of the building, and we'll have to have the whole thing rezoned and a whole new set of insurance
Do you know how much more water?
And would the whole association
we rent the
approve of
parking
that?
lot during the day. You can't do it during the day.
Just the extra toilet paper we'll go through.
Oh, forget it. We will need signs, clearly. We will need signs all over the building.
Nicholas sheet.
No breathing in the elevator.
Don't use the elevator.
The stairs are locked. Do not use the elevator.
If we get more than 2 people on that dial-up, it's just going to crash.
That's right. So, Pete, you actually had another idea. For those of you who are listeners, if you have Masonic grievances that you'd like to share, go to our Facebook page. And we'd love to
It's all going to be about those jackasses on Masonic Light Podcast.
Exactly.
Who the hell are they?
Put it on our page only.
Think they are?
Put it on our page only. Don't be sharing them on other bodies' pages. We're the one.
I can't wait to read the impassioned defense of prime rib.
Exactly.
I posted something today on Facebook about faux wood paneling and linoleum floors. And,
yeah.
Oh my God! There's all this turmoil about it now. It's God, everybody's agita about. No, these things are traditional, and dude, it's faux wood paneling. Get rid of it.
All right. Well, let's take a quick break, and we're going to come back. We might hear from a couple of our sponsors, and when we come back, we'll talk about Festivus miracles.
Huzzah!
Festivus miracles.
As far back as the mid-1800s, records exist describing the pre-meeting tradition of brethren smoking cigars during and after gatherings. To this day, the practice of smoking cigars remains very much alive in many lodges. This custom is considered a time for brethren to relax, exchange ideas, and enjoy the simplicity and fellowship that is the very essence of our brotherhood. This is what Hiram Solomon Cigars is all about. Our starting principles are to bring Masonic brethren together in the harmony of a good cigar. Pull up a chair, sit back, light up any of our premium cigars, and enjoy the history. Hiram Solomon Cigars can be found at fine cigar retailers. For a complete list, visit HiramSolomonCigars.com or check them out on social media to find out when they'll be at a live event near you. Hiram Solomon Cigars is pleased to be the official cigar of the Masonic Light Podcast.
And we're back. We would like to begin this section of our program by thanking those of you that help us and have helped us over the years continue to do such quality programming and getting it out to the masses. We would like to thank our patrons on. These guys are like about
like
to die
and huddled masses.
And now
PBS.
back to Terry.
yearning to be free.
Waiting in the rain under the lamplight.
Our patrons on Patreon who contribute and keep us going
More light, sir.
Yes, patreon.com/Masonic Light Podcast.
Correct, Mundo.
Very nice.
Please continue to support that. And for as little as
$1.
$1,000.
$1.
Or
you
one.
can be a contributing patron.
Contributing contributor.
So thank you very much for that. What about
Is
our
that
other
alliteration? Is that what that is?
Something like that. What about our other sponsors, Pete?
I'd like to thank George J. Grove and Son. Apparently, I've spent like $150,000 with George J. Grove and Son. So I'm helping him sponsor this show.
Oh, okay, cool.
But he does let me swim at his house once a year, so I guess that makes up for it somehow.
And you get to play golf with him.
I do, but the thing is, George is a very successful businessman, and he doesn't pick crappy, cheap places like Evergreen. He wants to go golfing somewhere where it's like, $200 a round, and I have to go and
there's actual grass.
Yeah, and I got to rent a kidney out. And I can't sell it, but I'll rent it. Larry, who do you want to thank?
Well, we're not ready for Larry.
I'm not ready for me yet.
Are you counting your
Jack.
wallet?
Wait,
No.
what? What?
Do you have a sponsor you'd like to thank?
A certain chocolatier?
Well, there is this woman I know who makes really good chocolates.
She's hot. Sorry. I'm not supposed to
Larry,
do that.
you're
I'm a Freemason.
You're banned. I'm just saying.
Larry's in timeout.
No, Stephanie, she's been absolutely crazy with the orders the last 4 weeks. She's working 16 hours a day. She is the whole company. And she just makes really good chocolates. And she does gift baskets, special events packages. We do corporate baskets. Just if you'd like to do something nice for somebody, Intermezzo by Stephanie.
So for all of you that are heads of Masonic groups out there, if you have a need for that kind of thing.
She is particularly sympathetic to Masons, yes.
Particularly sympathetic to Masons.
We've got all kinds of like tall cedar stuff, and we're going to make some Templar molds that we can use.
Like a black hat with white grenache.
I like it.
On the ostrich feathers.
I like it.
All right, Jake, you have one of our contributors to thank?
Jim Stephens.
Yes.
I know who's that.
He is the new incoming master of
Lodge 43
here in Lancaster.
Yep.
So.
Oh, here's a good time for me to... Jim asked me to design his pin for his year, and I did, and I think you guys probably didn't get one because he doesn't like you.
Well, I certainly didn't get one.
I didn't either.
I didn't get one no, and I didn't get one either. So here's what I'm going to do.
Uh-oh.
As soon as I get home from this episode, I am going to list the original digital artwork and
everybody in the lodge can make their own?
I am going to mint it into an NFT, and I'm going to put it for sale, and all proceeds that come from that are going to come to me.
There you go.
And I will support...
whatever you want.
I will support senior citizens by buying lottery tickets.
And Dobermans.
and Doberman snacks.
You're donating directly to Doberman Rescue when you fund Pete's efforts.
That's right.
That is true. We have a little foster at home right now who needs...
now someone should just rescue his wife from the Dobermans.
We really should do it. We really should do a segment on that sometime with you.
On Dobermans?
On the work you do. Because it is
really cool, man.
It is awesome.
It is. They're cool dogs.
Yeah.
Bring them all in the studio.
Oh, that would be awesome. No. They love Jack.
Ruby Roo. Actually, the one that hated me is now no longer with us.
Yeah.
Well,
but it was fun to listen to.
But I'm sure he could train the rest of them to hate me too.
He may have left notes behind.
I don't know. They do those things.
The best thing about partying with Pete at his house is as you get further and further into your cups, you get less and less careful on these giant attack dogs that are just kind of wandering the place.
Policing the joint.
All right, there.
Larry.
What?
Larry would like to thank Michelle Stevens, longtime contributor.
Michelle Stevens?
Jim
Snyder.
Jim's wife.
Jim
no,
Snyder.
that's Joyce.
Joyce Snavely.
No.
Larry, who would you like to thank?
Well, for a long-time contributor,
easy for you to say.
A long-time contributor is Michelle Snyder, who is the voice of myth and symbolism and so forth. Great gal, terrific gal. And our own Dutchy Doug, or Doug Maddenford, who has been a phenomenal contributor to this show. The guy is really great.
Our listenership doubles when he does an episode.
Yeah, definitely does.
When he does a segment.
Well, that's good, because this episode he's going to
awesome
be on.
Yeah. So
we're like the Tracy Ullman show, and he's the Simpsons. One of these days, he's going to break out.
Well, he has. He's got his own shtick now.
Yeah, that's more true than
that's Dougie's front porch. I mean, it's awesome.
I was on that show the other day.
Were you?
For the Thanksgiving thing.
Okay.
Did he invite any of you guys on there?
No.
That's too bad.
Damn it.
Not enough room on the porch.
Yeah, he did a special for Thanksgiving, and he had people from all over the country that he knows about what Thanksgiving meant to you and growing up, so forth. So it was on. It was a good show.
He just knows that you were there for the original.
Jake and I, our favorite part of Thanksgiving is just when everything gets loud and obnoxious, is taking a walk.
Yes.
Taking a walk. When Uncle Pete and Uncle Jake go take a walk.
Yes.
And then we come back and everything's better.
Everything's much calmer. Everything's better.
So one other contributor that we need to thank, and we'll thank actually during our next break, is Brother Walter, Brother Walter Cronkite, for all of his contributions in news.
Did Walter reach out to you?
He did.
Okay,
all right.
good.
So we're going to have a Walter sighting here soon. That's great.
Visually over the airwaves.
Visually over the airwaves. Just, yeah, virtually. All right. So let's move on to the next part of our Festivus episode, which are the Festivus miracles. We've already mentioned that Larry has survived another year. That's definitely a Festivus miracle.
Ubar Grotto
survived another year. Oh,
did not lose a charter.
Yeah, did not lose a charter. And actually, we got no cease and desist letters.
Right.
So, and we had all those grand officers.
We had
there.
a Grand Master of Pennsylvania, and we had the Grand Monarch within a month visit us, and still we have our
hold our charter.
Yes,
it's amazing.
We gave a good effort.
I tell you what, if we survive it through this, we're going to make it.
And that's that.
Yes, that's that. All right. What other miracles have we seen?
By the time the show comes out, hopefully Larry's merger committee will have finally officially merged. From what I've heard, everything has been approved. However, the last little bit of approval is the official thing at a meeting.
Grand Lodge.
At Grand Lodge. And then
that'll happen right after this episode.
So being a member of Grand Lodge, I should go and cast my vote.
Yes.
It's a virtual meeting, I believe. So you can
send a thumbs up.
A sad face to vote no.
Any other Festivus miracles? I think one of the miracles that we should acknowledge, and we've done this on several episodes, are the thinking out of the box that a lot of folks have done during this COVID time. I want to do a personal thanks to our outgoing Right Worshipful Grand Master Thomas Gammon IV. I cannot imagine the pressure that he was under when he was faced, a year ago in March with the decision to have to shut down everything. No matter what he decided, he was going to get criticized. But he took a calm approach. He led, and I think we're all better for it. And we've seen lodges literally all over this state do things that they haven't done in many, many years, like reaching out to brethren outside of the lodge. We've heard stories of lodges that literally made phone calls to every member in their lodge. We have my own lodge did. We started what we call.
It's amazing that they're finally embracing 1940s technology.
Exactly right. Yeah, telephone.
The phone call. Amazing.
Call. Yeah. My own lodge started this monthly toast to absent brethren, which is really a fun social event that we get together monthly on a Zoom call outside of lodge and have a couple of toasts. And
you figured out how to organize your drinking under a Masonic umbrella.
That's right. But that's what I'm talking about. We've got to think about new ways of doing things. And lodges all across the state have done that. There have been a bunch that haven't. have been a bunch that, said, oh, well, the Grandmaster's called everything off. We can't do anything. But others said, okay, we can't get together face-to-face. I can attest that I've participated in more Masonic education over the last 2 years virtually than I ever did before COVID when I had to go face-to-face. I've been a part of Masonic trainings that have occurred from the Grand Lodge of England, the Grand Lodge of Scotland, one of the lodges in Canada, a couple of the other lodges around the country that have done these kinds of things, and I think it's just amazing the work that's going on. I truly think that's a miracle. It's amazing that's been out there. Anybody else?
It's a miracle that this segment even worked.
Exactly. This actually started with a text chat earlier today, and it kind of took off.
Well, one of the things when does this air?
Monday.
Josh? Monday.
Monday.
Well, I think then it would be timely to kind of remember we're having fun with Festivus, but to basically, I guess, sort of close out and mention the fact that we wish everybody a very Merry Christmas, and to our Jewish brethren a very happy.
We're late, but happy Hanukkah. We missed it.
Hanukkah, yeah, exactly. And really to...
Can you check his O2 right now?
I think it fell about 2 weeks ago. I might have to check the phone book.
Well, anyway, folks.
So
when we end the show, we'll wish everybody you know what.
That's right.
You know what?
You know what. So before we take a break,
You don't know what I'm thinking right now.
I got your you know what right here. All right.
You know what I got for you?
I got you know what.
all right, let's take a break. We're going to take a break. We're going to hear from Uncle Walter, pay some more bills, and we'll be back to close out the show.
Uncle Walter.
You know we're talking about that thing.
Gabagool.
Hello, brethren. Dutchy Doug is back with an update from my lodge, the Brogan Pla number 377. Well, the temps have dropped and it's dark at 4:30. It must be December. If you remember my bit from last December, our lodge takes part in our local community's Christmas festivities by playing the part of the Belschnickel, our culture's Christmas gift giver. This year we continued that tradition, no worries. But many of the brethren were a little put off that not all of them can participate in our annual Belschnickel visits, and it was decided that the lot should undertake some other Christmas-themed event. After much deliberation, it was decided that we would do a Secret Santa. Now, I'm sure that all of you out there in Masonic Lightland know what a Secret Santa is, but just in case, here's a quick explanation. People pick a name, set a price, and get a gift, and then exchange them at a Secret Santa party. Sounds pretty easy and non-controversial. At our November meeting, our worshipful master, Brother Amos Appleschnitz, passed his top hat around with all the names of the brethren in attendance. Each brother chose a name out of the hat and put it in their coat pocket. Brother Appleschnitz then announced, "At our December meeting, we will exchange gifts. Each of you are to spend no more than $10. Choose something that you know your name will enjoy. Wrap that gift and bring it along next month." I thought to myself, $10 sure won't get you much in this day and age, but the worshipful master said it, so that's the way it goes. Fast forward to our December meeting. We quickly went through the business of the lodge and installed all our new officers. Lodge was closed and the festivities began. Slowly, each brother in attendance pulled out from underneath their chair a nicely wrapped present. Worshipful Master Appleschnitz called on a random brother, Brother Jacob BEEEEEEP. Brother Jake stood up and carried his presents across the room and gave it to Brother Albert Salva. Brother Albert thanked Brother Jacob and proceeded to open his gift. What to his wondering eyes did appear but a 6-pack of Yingling Lager beer and 2 Pennsylvania Lottery scratch-off tickets. The brethren smiled and some even laughed. Brother Albert said that he will definitely enjoy the gift. What I noticed from behind the secretary's desk is that when Brother Albert opened his gift, many of the other brethren started shifting around in their seats, and I wasn't sure quite why. Next, Brother Albert called on Brother Carl Fenstermacher. He rose and carried his gift over to Brother Barry Bierman. When he opened his gift, wouldn't you believe it? Another 6-pack of lager and 2 lottery tickets. Now even more of the brethren started to rooch around in their seats. As names continued to be called, the funniest thing happened. Every gift that was opened was the same darn thing. At the end of the night, every brother was sitting in their seat holding a 6-pack of Pottsville's finest brew and 2 chances to be a millionaire. We all had a good laugh at just how crazy this all seemed. In the end, I guess each brother took the worshipful master's request seriously. Spend no more than $10 and choose something that your person will enjoy. Now, who can argue with a 6-pack of amber ale and the opportunity to not only benefit older Pennsylvanians, but to scratch their way to possible riches? We all had another good laugh and retired to the social hall, where we enjoyed some refreshments. The 6-packs had to wait, though, since we are Pennsylvania Masons, and you know we can't let that stuff touch our lips on Masonic ground. I wish all of you a very blessed and joyous Christmas and holiday season. May you find peace and good health in the new year 2022. And now, as we say in Pennsylvania Dutch, Heilige Christtag und ein glückseliges Neujahr. Till next time, work hard, stay plumb, and out in the lights when you leave the room. To learn more about the Pennsylvania Dutch language, culture, and history, please visit my website, padutch101.com, or my YouTube channel. Just search Doug Maidenford.
In Masonic news today, the Grand Lodge of North Arkansas has issued a proclamation stating that they will no longer recognize the extra-jurisdictional travel of Santa Claus. They further state that the Easter Bunny and St. Valentine are to be considered clandestine persons and will be refused admission to all Narcansian lodges. That's the Masonic news. So mote it was.
And we're back. Before we begin our closing, I want to just say a special word and a shout out to all of our brethren in Western Kentucky. Many of you know that on Friday, December the 10th, some horrendous tornadoes went through that area, destroying pretty much everything in its path. One report says that one of the tornadoes was on the ground for over 200 miles, which is just unimaginable.
Churning the service.
The Masonic Service Association, which puts out the short talk bulletins that many of us use in our training, they regularly help organize fundraisers for things like this, and they've set up a disaster relief appeal for lodges that you can contribute to. If you're a Pennsylvania Freemason, your lodge secretary received a message from the Grand Secretary's office today. But whether you are a Pennsylvania Freemason or not, you can contribute by going to msana.com/current appeals. And you can find all of the information there about where to send any kind of donation if your lodges want to contribute or whatever. As has been reported, everything has been destroyed, and including lodge buildings and so on. So many prayers for our Masonic brethren out there, and so we want to do that. So anyway, what do you got coming up in the next couple of weeks, Jack?
Well, before we break into Around the Horn,
we're still on the sad side.
We're still bumming everybody out.
That's right.
We got notice today. If you know the situation, you'll know when this is. Then, but we got notice actually yesterday that our past district deputy grandmaster Robert S. Conway of the 1st Masonic District passed away. And Bob was district deputy previous to my coming in. So he was district deputy when I was going through the chairs. But the year I got into the East, he had retired that year. So he was never, strictly speaking, my district deputy, but for the years before I came into the East. And I just want to say, in Bob's memory, he brought... I don't know whether he brought us to or he helped us to maintain a higher standard. I mean, we in District 1, we have just always held, in my world, a higher standard because of Bob Conway, and for that at least.
I think Bob was an Alaska Mason.
He was made a Mason in Alaska. Yes, I'm not sure whether it was a military lodge or not, but he came to Pennsylvania and he became district deputy.
Bob was I was secretary for the School of Instruction when he was district deputy, and he really an emotional man, and. Back when I was younger,
emotional in that he was
way.
sincere about his emotions.
Like he would always get up and he would thank the ladies for the men, letting the men come out. And I've heard so many people do that completely insincerely over the years. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But Bob actually meant it. Yeah. And I apologize, I forgot his wife's name, but
Bobby.
Yeah. And I even know I know his son too. Mm-hmm. Nice family, and my prayers go out to them.
All right. Well, let me give you two guys a moment to readjust. Larry, what have you got coming up in the next couple of weeks?
More meetings. Tomorrow night we have one, and Pete's involved in this too, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have one tomorrow night. That's pretty much it. Breakfast on Thursday.
All right. Jake, you got anything Masonically coming up in the next few weeks?
No.
Oh, lucky.
Going to some stated meetings and stuff with the holidays and everything. Not a lot going on.
Great. Jack, you ready?
Well, I continue to do my Monday nights with the new candidates as they're going through the degree work. We help them with degree work study, and also talking about peeling back the layers a little bit into the, what's the meaning beneath the meaning beneath the meaning of all this nonsense that we do. And it's been really productive in a Masonic way. The guys that are coming in now, there's fewer guys coming into the lodge, I'll admit that, but the guys that are coming in are really good Masons. So I really like the way the fraternity's going, and that was my Festivus gripe was we're not dying, we're correcting. And if anybody doesn't understand that, then you're really not paying attention.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to whatever Freemasonry is going to become. So that's my thing. So I teach you guys Monday nights. Anybody wants to come in, it's Ephrata Lodge 665. Look it up. You can figure out how to do that. And that's it. Happy Christmas 2021 to everybody, because you probably won't hear this until after that.
Great. Jake, you had one other thing you wanted to mention?
Yeah, I just wanted to shout out to a lodge I got to visit earlier this year. I was down on a fishing trip to Southwest Florida with a buddy of mine. He's also a brother, and he got to take me to Cypress Lodge 295 down in Naples. A bunch of welcoming guys. They're really good. And if you want some good food, some good fellowship, go out and visit them if you're in town.
Did they serve you prime rib?
They did not.
Did you get to go in shorts and flip-flops?
No, jeans and a polo.
Oh, okay.
Or khakis and a polo.
Tilapia, the prime rib of the South.
That's good. Pete?
Well, Larry forgot to mention, but he's going to be getting installed as a Grand Tall Cedar of Lancaster Forest number 27 on the 28th of December. And then in a couple days from now, this coming Saturday, we are having a Tall Cedar Christmas breakfast.
Yeah. Night and day.
At the Night and Day Diner. And I am not going to let it repeat like they did last year, where all these very nice, polite people tried to wait until everybody showed up to order their breakfast. 30 people order breakfast at the same time.
3 hours later, you're getting your food.
No. Sit down, order your breakfast, and eat. And we can socialize while you're eating on your sausage. So that's it for me. Josh?
Josh.
I vote that what's that big
Shady Maple.
Shady Maple. Yeah, I vote that Shady Maple be renamed Breakfast Mountain. The only thing
seconded.
The only thing
all in favor.
The only thing I got coming up is probably watching Grand Lodge's meeting on the 27th.
Are you going to be voting for or against this merger?
Probably against.
Just to see what happens.
No. Yeah, from what I understand, everything's probably going to be good.
So you're thinking there's not a chance for a Scooby-Doo ending?
You've seen the Elf on the Shelf.
The turning moment in this merger was when everybody who was attending
Mason
the meeting.
into Basin.
Oh yeah, this is funny. This is funny. Listen to Jake.
The critical moment for me in this merger was when I'm a member of the lodge that's merging like Pete and Larry, and we're all there making our impassioned reasons for why we want to merge. We're all giving our Mark Antony on the steps with Caesar speech, and this one older gentleman stands up and says, "Is anybody here actually against this thing?" And nobody said anything. And he goes, "What are we doing?"
just vote and get out of here.
Just wrap the gavel and go home.
Nice.
So, I've got a special meeting being held. It's not often we get to have special meetings.
You're so special.
It's a
But our worshipful master wanted to have one more meeting, and so we're holding a special meeting to install a junior warden who couldn't be installed at our regular meeting because he had COVID. And so it'll be the shortest meeting in the history of the lodge. Those of you that have been to one and know how long that junior warden's obligation goes, we're in and out and done. And then Josh mentioned the Grand Lodge meeting. I'm actually going to be in Pittsburgh for the installation of Jeff Wonderling as our new Right Worshipful Grand Master, and looking forward to that. I understand that there is going to be a meeting of the Cigar Lodge out there. I'm really looking forward to that as well.
At the Leaf and the Bean?
The Leaf and the Bean, yeah.
And I understand we have top people working on getting the newly passed Right Worshipful Grand Master to hopefully, possibly, maybe being on the show.
We're hoping to have.
We're going to beg.
We're going to beg.
Okay.
We're hopefully have him on sometime.
Who do we have working on that?
Charge him extra.
In 2022.
Men.
2022.
We know people.
So,
anyway. You know people who have friends that are related to people that.
All right, Josh, turn those chickens loose. It is time to close this episode. Merry Christmas, everybody. Larry, take us out of here.
Yeah, thanks to Josh Lamberton, producer and director of the show, and to Effort Lodge 665 for making this beautiful studio available. Thanks to Jack Harley, our news director, Tim Dedman, our marketing director, and our Masonic Light contributors, Michelle Snyder and Doug Maddenford, and sometimes Jim Stevens. And I really have nothing else to say tonight except Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, folks. We'll see you again on the other side in 2022.
Enjoy your Ramadan and a blessed Kwanzaa.
Bye, everybody.
Meow.